Hello lovelies, it's 20 to 6. I'm quite late tonight, but you know, that's how life rolls. Hope you're all happy, hope you're all well. I'm just on Facebook today because I'm sick of this double screen thing, one not working, rah, rah, rah. So I figured I'm just going to go where the money is, and most of you who follow us are on Facebook. So that's where we are. Hello Sandra, how are you tonight? Good to see you, darling. I'm just turning on my contraption heat. What was if I've turned it on, plugged it in? Power, heat, right. Let me try something else. Here we go. Put it in here. Right, well this is not going well because my thing doesn't seem to be plugged in. Hang on a second. All the best cooks, it helps if you turn the button on. All right, so my thing's heating up. Tonight I'm cooking chicken stroganoff, and again I've just gone into my cupboard and gone, what needs using up? What do I have that's quick, that's easy and tasty? So I'm just going to get started because I've got some very good things I want to talk to you guys about tonight. So chicken stroganoff, I'm just going to put a lump of, I've got my pot over here. I'm doing it in a pot because I don't have a pan that works on the induction cooktop that I'm happy with. As I said to you guys a couple of weeks ago, I have got the, hey Nick, how are you gorgeous girl? Hey Joe. I have got that big cast iron pot that I bought, which is, you know, what everyone raves about, but functionally it's terrible for me. It's too heavy, doesn't work, burns everything. No point having something that's, you know, top of the range if it's actually completely functionally useless. Hello Michelle, how are you? Good evening. So I'm cooking tonight a chicken stroganoff version. All I've done is pop a big knob of butter in. I've got some frozen onions that I'm just going to fling in. And I'll just let them do their trick. And while that's happening, now, how's this? How is this for a knife? So normally, none of my knives are sharp, and I don't know. I need to somehow get them sharpened. But I've got this giant cleaver that I hardly ever use, so I pulled it out of the knife block and thought, bloody hell, it's sharp as sharp. So that's what I'm going to be chopping my chicken up with. So I've just got some organic chicken here. It's actually frozen, I defrosted it. It's not quite completely defrosted, but because I'm cooking this in a sauce and it's going to simmer for a while, it'll be all right. As you know, you don't want to have any raw chicken in your dinner because that would be disgusting. That's not a knife. Yes, I know, Crocodile Dundee. This is a knife. And watch it, it just is, like seriously. I now wonder, why was I working with blunt knives? Like it's like chopping, so I was about to say, it's like a knife through butter. It really is. It's so quick, so easy. So there's a tip for young players. If you want to make your cooking easier, get sharp knives. So maybe I'll work out how to do that over the Christmas break. Now, next week is my last cooking show for the year because Mary and I are having a break over the Christmas New Year. And I've got a ripper recipe that is actually from one of our members, posted it. And I'm looking forward to sharing that with you. Marie, yes, sharp knives are definitely the best, and it is. It's a ripper. So, you know, as I said, I'm just chopping this like what is it? Like a knife through butter. So this is 1.5 kilos of chicken thighs. I like thighs. They're tastier. And basically, as soon as that butter's melted, I'm just going to bang this into the pot. And you'll see, again, I'm going to have this beautiful variation on a stroganoff on the table, like literally maybe 20 minutes. So now, as there's knife sharpening services. Google your friend. Google is your friend. Rightio, good. Do they come to your house, Marie? Because I don't want to walk around with the bag of knives. If they come to your house, then that's the way I want to do it. So if anyone knows, do knife sharpening services come to your house? That is what I'm going to do. That'll be my Christmas present to myself, and you'll see next year I'll be like, what's that, like an Iron Chef. Anyway, I'm carefully putting this knife over here. Oh, look at that. We've got sizzle. So, oh, actually that smells good. I wish you had smell-o-vision. So that's just onion and butter, and now I'm just going to fling in this beautiful chicken, and that'll just, basically, I'll give that a stir through the butter. Put that one over there. Good. Now I've got lots to talk to you about tonight. 2 good topics. So, okay, we take ours to the farmer's market. The guy there does them. Is that? I don't go to the farmer's market very often, Ken, but I'm going to Google. Maybe if someone else does it for me and puts it in the low carb real food community page, you know, our community, then I've got greasy hands. Then that would be a really good service, because I think that would be great. Thanks, Marie. It sounds like you're going to do that. So I've just got here some mingle stroganoff flavour. What's in it? It's onion, garlic, paprika, a bit of salt, pepper, parsley. Not a hugely strong flavour, this one. So, you know, if you've got kids or something who don't like curries, this is an easy one. Normally, as you know, stroganoff is done with beef, but why not do some variation? So I'm just letting all those spices cook through. And I'm just letting that chicken brown a little bit. Now I've already got a whole pile of tomatoes, and I've got some beans. Now you'll notice I've changed chopping boards. I love green beans. I tell you what, they're my favourite. I love green beans, and I love them with just steamed, or in my case, microwaved lightly with butter. For me, and salt, that's like the equivalent of fries. I call them green fries. So really, there's no way I really ever want to eat chips again when I can just eat these beautiful green beans bathed in butter. Good. So we've got basically a kilo, what did I say, 1.5 kilos of chicken thighs chopped in with, I don't know, a big slob of frozen onions, maybe 1/4 of a bag, so whatever that is. I reckon I'll put in some more beans than that. I've got the chicken just browning in the pot here, and I'm just going to throw in these mushrooms, some cream, and then put the lid on. Like, it's so easy. It doesn't have to be hard. I've spoken to a lot of people this week. Okay, we know Christmas is hard. It's often not hard. I mean, it's hard on 2 fronts. It's sometimes hard because of the food, but it's also hard because of the time. We become time poor, trying to fit everything in. It's like Christmas happens, it's the end of the year, and everybody suddenly needs to get everything done before Christmas. And I kind of get it. It's a bit like people that want to clean up, you know, before they go to bed. They want everything tidy, so they're starting the year afresh. So I've just put in a giant thing of mushrooms because I totally love them. And put the lid on there. And I'm just going to chop up a few more beans. I don't like the beans too soggy, so they can go in at the end. So a couple of things. Christmas is hard for a lot of people. Okay, it's that concept of you're a bit tired, you're trying to fit in a lot of things, there's expectations galore, and everyone has different ideas on, you know, how they want to spend their time, and there's competing demands and all that sort of stuff. Hello, Margie. Do you ever post the ingredient? I tell you what, I do not post the ingredients ahead of time because that would require me to be very organised, and I'm not. Unfortunately, what I do, or fortunately, is I literally open the fridge and see what's in there and then decide. So sometimes, and that's resulted in a few ripper meals, because a couple of my favourites have come about from the fact that I've gone to the fridge and gone, right, I've got nothing in here, I'm just going to make stuff up. Susan, gorgeous woman, Susan, I know, made the fake apple crumble for her Christmas dinner, and I believe it was well received. Is that right, gorgeous girl? I think so. So yes, Margie, that's kind of, it's not actually what I do. I'm actually not a meal planner really at all. I envy the people that can do meal planning, but I'm just not very good at that. Okay, now I have some cream. Now there's not a whole tub in here. I reckon there's about 300 mils, so that's going in. And then normally stroganoff has a bit of tomato paste, but I don't have any, so I'm just going to put in a splash. Oh, if I can open this, of passata. It's a new thing that's slippery. Right, that one's a bit stuck. I'll see if I've got another one. Different brand. Yeah, got it. Just going to put a splash in of that. And now I'm just going to put the lid on, let those mushrooms simmer down a bit, and then the chicken will cook through. I'll fling the beans in a few minutes, and now you and I can all have a lovely chat. Good. Use a rubber glove to open it. Okay, I'll have to put one of those on the shopping glove. I don't have any rubber gloves. I do know that sometimes what I'll do is I'll slip a butter knife just in under here to break the seal, or if you've got one of those pate knives, that can sometimes do it. Now, a couple of things, lovelies. Who has listened to this week's podcast? If you have, just put a little yes in the comments or something, because this is one of my favourites, and I have a few favourites, but this was a great episode. I actually recorded it quite a long time ago. And for those of you who haven't listened, it's with Kate Gregorovic, who is a geriatrician. So she's a doctor that specialises in aging. Good, Michelle, you've listened, wonderful. And so she's got there's a few things we talk about. Not yet, you'll listen, beautiful Alani. Because what it is, this one is I talked about it at the start of the year. It's one of my big bugbears that women, there's a few things. There's all these expectations that women have to look a particular way, and we all know that. So that's why we're all, trying to look thin and lovely and all that stuff. But then as you age, so once you become sort of over 40, you're like invisible. It's like, what? Your you've expired. Use by date is done. So what's happening is that women are therefore trying to look a bit younger so that they're not discriminated against. And so there's industry exploiting that. But the other thing is, we need to be really mindful of the way we speak about getting older. Because we're all getting older. The only person who's not getting older is a dead person. So there is no shame in getting older. And Kate's best saying that I love, the older I get, the smarter I get. And it's so true. And this is what happens. We forget that as we get older, we get smarter, we get wiser, and we've done lots of experience. So we've made the mistakes and we've learned from them, and now we're moving on. We are smart and we can learn things. This is the bit that we forget. Now, sometimes people have trouble maybe with technology, for example, and they'll say, oh, I'm just getting too old. No. Everybody has trouble learning new things. That's normal. So normally, it's like a young person might have trouble doing, some cross stitch or knitting. And they don't go, it's because I'm too young. They just go, I don't want to do that. All adults hate learning new things. It's one of our things. We expect kids to learn new things, and kids work out that learning something new is hard. But as an adult, we don't like that. We just want to learn it straight away. So if you're struggling with anything, whether it's cooking a new meal, whether it's technology, whether it's picking up a new thing, and it's hard, don't put yourself down by saying it's because I'm too old. It's nothing to do with your age. Okay? Learning stuff is new. Can't see on Insta tonight. No, I'm not on Insta tonight, Lee, because I just didn't, technically I didn't charge my iPad, and I have to run 2 screens. And last time I couldn't get round to fix up the Facebook. So I'm only on Facebook tonight. So I really want you to be mindful of your own language, because the groundswell about women being visible actually begins with us. So we can stop putting ourselves down if we can't learn something. We can stop referring to ourselves as old and hopeless. We can stop being worried if our skin doesn't look like a youthful 20-year-old skin. It's actually okay. It's completely normal. And in fact, we are so wise and wonderful and smart. That's what we should be celebrating. So I've done a little hashtag, which I did a lot at the start of the year, called We Are Glorious. And we are, because we need to be celebrating women of all ages. We don't need to put young people down, but we don't need to glorify youth either. And particularly, we don't need to be ashamed of ourselves as we get older. Because as I said, what are the options? Dead. That's not a good option. So that's the first thing I wanted to talk about. Melissa McGuinness, isn't it funny? You're actually my second thing. So we have amongst us several women who are incredible athletes who ran the Melbourne Marathon. Now, it was really interesting. I can't run, I can't even walk, so running is not my thing. But it was really interesting because there was a thing that happened and several of them were a little disappointed with what happened. And I understand why. And Millie, that's happened to you. And Avi was one of the other ones. These incredible women who ran 42 kilometres had some disappointments along the way. And perhaps didn't do quite as well as they thought, or a few things went awry. Now, this happens to all of us. And what happens is that you focus on the little bit that went wrong, not on the 41.1 kilometres that went brilliantly, and maybe not perfect, but friggin' awesomely. Or the 42.2 kilometres that perhaps took you a little longer than you thought. It's human nature to do that, and we call that the gap. And what it is, it happens with all of us. In fact, there's one of our gorgeous members around. She did a podcast a couple of weeks ago, Jody. Now, Jody set herself a goal of 40 kilos in 12 months. She's lost 38. Now, she was saying to me she might be a little disappointed if she doesn't get to the 40. But really, 38 freaking kilos. But what we do is we focus on the 2. It is human nature to do that. It's called the gap. We focus on the gap, the shortfall, where we think we failed. But we haven't. We haven't. So to Melissa, to Avi, to Jody, bloody awesome. I cannot, seriously. So, and Helena was the other one from Changing Plates, if any of you follow her. Another marathoner, her first marathon. You know, I just think these are women, late 30s, 40s, maybe Millie's 50, can't remember, but doing incredible things, incredible. So I really want you to be so proud of yourselves, because I am, and I think as inspirational women, that's exactly what you are. Hashtag we are glorious. Now, hopefully hashtag I haven't burnt the chicken, because that would be bad. Now, good. All right, this looks good. I'm just going to fling these beans in. I don't want the beans super soggy, so they're just going in for a couple of minutes. Now this is great. This is, I mean, seriously, how long? Like 15 minutes this took. 15 little minutes. I'm just going to stir this through because I want to show you how bloody good it looks. And I really do. I really wish there was smell-o-vision. Oh, shush. So I'm going to show you, look at that. So I don't want to show you anymore because it's going to tip all over the bench and that would be bad. But that is an incredible dish. It'll go back on for about, in fact, you know what, the beans will cook just in the heat of the sauce. So, 1.5 kilos of chicken, 500 grams of mushrooms, a sachet of mingle, a splash of passata, 300 mils of cream in your pot. Beautiful, done. You gang, you're very awesome. You don't have to be perfect, but you're very, very awesome. That's it for me tonight. I'm going to go and I'll plate this up when when the beans are done. I'm just going to leave the lid on, and those beans will self-cook. But what I want you people to be focusing on this week is not the gap, okay? So the awesomeness that you're doing, focusing on the awesomeness. So I used the stroganoff mingle, darling, stroganoff mingle. Focus on the awesomeness, not the gift, not the gap. Stroganoff mingle, Lee. How well, okay, doesn't matter if there's a little shortfall, there's plenty of time, okay? Because like everything, weight loss, health, good living, unlike a marathon, there's actually no finish line. So we just keep going. Lovelies, have a beautiful night, and I will see you all very shortly. Take care. Bye, darlings.